What up? My name is Ryan Babel and you're watching JLBsportsTV.
Hey everybody, welcome to JLB Sports TV. I am Justin Block and we are finally with the man Ryan Babel. As you know, Ryan's been a friend of the channel for quite some time. Back in 2010 I made a little video, a little bit of a rant saying how I wanted Ryan to get some more playing time with Liverpool. But as I'm in Amsterdam right now on holiday, I figured we'd try to link up with Ryan and we are here, so it's finally good to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Now, first of all, how are you? Just
good.
Yeah?
Yeah, good.
Feeling good?
Yeah. I was injured for a little while,
Right.
And I'm finally back at the team again.
So, talk about a little bit earlier in your life, how did you really first get into football? And was there really a moment where you thought like, wow, I could actually do this professionally maybe?
Well, yeah, I mean, I started to play in the youth of Ajax at the age of 10.
Right.
So yeah, obviously, you know, you have an idea that you have a certain talent that maybe can develop to be, at the end, to be professional.
And what was it like coming up through the famed Ajax Academy? Because we all know they it's like a factory for great footballers. So what makes that academy so special where they're able to produce these great talents?
I think the thing what the youth of Ajax makes so special is the time that they take, you know, to really develop the talent. Yeah, I mean, you know, you have to have certain things, you know, to be part of it, that you get teach as a very young kid already, and that's discipline. You know, you have to stand your own shoes. For example, as a 8 or 9-year-old, they don't want your parents to carry your big soccer bag.
They want you to do it.
Yeah, you know, so those kind of things. You know, you have to clean your shoes before every training, otherwise, you know, you get punished for that. And those things. You know,
a lot of discipline, very mature setup.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now, it's been quite some time since you left Liverpool. It's been what, 3 years now? So just
2 years. Yes, more or less.
So starting off, what's life like coming back to Holland after being in England for so long, and then you had to stay over in Germany?
Well, I mean, obviously, you know, now you have some little experience in your pocket now, being abroad. My time in Holland now is way different than what it was before. At the moment, I'm enjoying being back here. I signed only for 1 year, to give my career some more perspective after this year. Also, that had to do with my time in Germany. I was playing, with all respect, for a smaller club on paper in Germany.
Well, certainly smaller than Liverpool and Ajax.
And at the end, I have to be honest that maybe it was not the best choice to make for myself, you know.
To go to Germany?
Yeah, because at the end I made that choice to stay involved with the national squad. The manager on that time, he said, you have to make sure that you have to play a lot of games.
It was Bert van Marwijk.
Bert van Marwijk, yes.
And no longer with them, of course.
Exactly. And I wasn't obviously playing a lot in Liverpool, so for me it was at that time a choice that I wanted to make to stay involved.
And that was right after coming off of the World Cup, right? Because many people don't actually maybe realize, but you were actually on the squad that went all the way to the final.
Yeah,
so
true. Yeah.
What was that ride like? Because although the Dutch are always favorites in every tournament, I'm not sure everybody exactly saw them beating Brazil and getting to the final like that.
I think the process was I think nice to also be involved with. You could sense, you know, the group would grow into a certain vibe that you felt like, you know, you almost had a feeling that you were unbeatable.
So switching gears a little bit, I want to talk about your time at Liverpool a little bit. So obviously when you came to the club, hot young prospect out of Europe, and the first season you were the young player of the year, and everybody thought he's going to go right into the 11 and light the world on fire. What happened at that time? Do you feel like that you maybe weren't developed properly under Rafa? Were there circumstances with other players sort of in their prime coming into the starting 11? What happens?
For me, it's still a big question mark because like you said, first year went very well for me. Then at the end of that year, you had the European Cup.
Right.
Came up in 2008, and then I got injured right before we started actually the tournament.
And you pulled out, right?
And I pulled out. I did a 7-week of recovery, and then you had the Olympics around the corner. And I don't know. I remember, I remember the Dutch Federation wanted me to be there, obviously to, put some experience and also some quality to the squad. And I remember Benitez making jokes that he wanted to keep me here.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he gave Mascherano, as a older player, the permission to go.
Okay.
And Lucas was also able to go.
Oh,
so
really? And
I wasn't
you
really
were the same age almost.
exactly.
Around,
So I wasn't really sure if I had to take that serious or if he was serious about it. A lot of people said that was I think the mistake you make to go, that he changed his mind about you. I don't know. He never said it, but at the end I go because obviously how many times you get a chance to play Olympics. And I mean, in my opinion, if you're a real football man, I think as a manager you should know that as well. And so to give those chances for the people who are able to play Olympics. But again, at the end I went and we got knocked out in the quarterfinals by Argentina. Messi was playing as well. And when I came back, I mean everything was fine. I started training, and I remember the first year the manager was doing a lot of rotation.
Right.
And the second year, all of a sudden, he was starting.
He stuck to one.
With one team.
Right. And you played on the left, and I guess that year Albert Riera was.
He came. And I understand. If you start the season with a team, and players come in later, the players who come in later, certain players have to earn their stripes again. I mean, I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
But again, I was doing well. I remember in my first 2-3 weeks of the new season, I came on against Manchester United.
Scored against United.
So I was confident, But at the end, soon already after that, I felt a little bit like I didn't really get the award back, the confidence back from the manager. He wasn't really speaking. He wasn't really giving me the confidence back in minutes. Even when I was not really starting straight away. I mean, there was a point straight away that I was not really involved in the squad. He left me doing my warming up. He didn't put me on. And those kind of signs for me were a little bit confusing because.
So you think there was a disconnect between you and Rafa? Not communication. Almost?
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, still without no real explanation. And I mean, I'm a type of person. I mean, I can step up and just. Ask questions in a normal way, with respect, if there's a problem, if I have to work harder, or if I have to work in a different way. And, that's what I did, I think the first 2-3 times, to be honest. And he gave me certain points that I had to work on. And, I did my best, and also, my opinion, I think I did them actually, good, but still no really, response from that, and at the end, obviously, as a 21-year-old, it makes you confused a little bit. You have almost the feeling that you cannot do anything better. All different things, came across my path because also he was, saying things in the media, fans taking that stuff over and also accusing me with those kind of things. So it was a lot of different things that I had a feeling I was a little bit out of control. I didn't really have it in my power again to change that.
Right, so you sort of felt like your situation in Liverpool was almost taken out of your hands, almost.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of shame because, I mean, not only me, but you had also different players, in my opinion, who were talented and good enough to get good chances. Like, for example, Dani Pacheco. I'm a very fan of him.
And
great Spanish player.
We haven't seen him in ages.
And in my opinion, he was good enough to play already in my time.
We've seen Liverpool bring in the young players, Raheem Sterling and Suso, so I think that's changed a little bit. But specifically when you were at the club, that was actually one of the most tumultuous times in club history, because you had the owners at war with the board, there's the debt, Rafa was always criticizing them in the media. It was a very, very sort of chaotic time at Liverpool where you honestly didn't know if the club would make it on the next season and be able to pay the wages.
Yeah, true.
So did that have any effect on the dressing room? Was the atmosphere different because of the situation with the owners and with Rafa?
No, not really. I mean,
so we
as a team, we just focused on the football, and we knew at the end. I mean, big club as Liverpool will be fine at the end.
Right.
If they had to swap owners or whatever, I mean, at the end that happened. So it was not for us a concern that we were thinking like, we will be unsure about things or structure in Liverpool. But, to me, it was just a shame that knowing, for example, what I had in Ajax, that they really take time to develop a talent. And funny thing was, when Liverpool approached me, they actually promised more or less the similar type of development.
So you would still be nurtured and brought along.
They still said, we give you time to really adapt into English football, and we will take time to develop you and make you better. And it sounded very promising. And as soon as I came there, I felt already, I'm kind of on my own.
Now, you left Liverpool in search of obviously more playing time, so you could be more involved with the national team. You were in Germany. You had 3 different managers during your time there, and you sort of had a falling out with each and every one of them. What was the problem in Germany?
Well, not really. I didn't fall out with any of them. Only the last manager that I had, Ryan Babel. It's just once you get older as a footballer, you notice things that you didn't notice when you were younger. When you were younger, you pay attention only on the team and only on yourself. But once you're getting older, you learn things in football. And I mean, it's we can all lie about things, but even in football, it's politics.
Right.
But the funny thing in Hoffenheim was that when they approached me as well, they were like, we want to start the same campaign as Manchester City, as those kind of teams.
Oh, so they wanted to spend big and
yes. They had like an owner. They still have, who's this CEO from SAP,
right?
And all those big companies who have a lot of
wealth,
to do this, to do those things, and they basically. That was literally their story. Like we want you to be the first player with big name, and hopefully soon after you will buy a lot more quality.
And they gave you the number 10 shirt as
exactly.
well.
It felt promising and stuff, and I had no complaints about financials or whatsoever. Everything was fine, and so I went there, with a lot of motivation. And as soon as I came, they brought other players who were not ready yet, in my opinion, to play in the first team. Young players from other teams who came from the second Liga.
And did you go there with sort of the most hunger in your career? Because coming off of sort of stalling at Liverpool, this was supposed to be a reinvigoration and a new start for you.
Of course. I mean, you have to understand that how they presented me was like, Dutch superstar from the national team. So it came already with a certain pressure, but I loved it because I felt, to be honest, I mean, everybody, shared different opinions, but I felt a little bit underrated at Liverpool. In my opinion, if people could really see, how we trained and how I was doing on training, you would clearly say, I deserved maybe a little bit better chance to show myself more, In the 3.5 years that I played in Liverpool, I never played more than 4 games in a row. But again, I started very promising in Germany. I played every game, but at the end, then you find yourself working in a team that obviously that you knew a little bit before, but you were hoping, you had back in your mind that they were buying more players, more quality for the squad. But it didn't happen.
Okay.
And at the end, I was playing with players who you know, they just didn't have the right
not enough quality.
Well, I have to say that some players had potential, but not their own character to find solutions themselves. You know, for example,
I guess they just weren't mature enough as players, too young, too unsure. Okay.
Exactly, and you had, in my opinion, you had, I think 5 players who were, I think, if they really develop, they will be good enough for the top sides in the future. But then the manager gave certain tasks, you know, like you want to play like this, and then at the end the game situation was totally different.
Right.
But I see they still try the same thing with the managers. So then me in the pitch, I was trying to coach those certain players, like, hey, the space now is not there, but there.
Right.
You know?
So they
make a different movement, and then they were like, no, we cannot do that.
Right.
The managers say we have to do this. Then, in my opinion, you don't have enough character to see.
So I guess they just weren't developed enough to sort of in-game situation. Things change.
Exactly. And those things, you know, I got teach already in the youth from Ajax. You know, they say as when you start at 10-year-old already, like we as a trainer, you make a certain tactic. You play against a team. But sometimes in a game, the situation is different. Then you, as a player, need to see and read the game.
You need to have the football in your game.
You know? And you have to have the intelligence to, for example, change that situation and do different things. Even when we ask you to do that, if you see the situation different, you can create your own thing. And that makes you maybe separate from normal football. And that was in Germany the problem. I was the only one, you know, who tried to sometimes talk to all the 10 others, like, go that way because then you make space for the number 6. But then they were like, no, we cannot do that because the trainer said we have to do this. I'm like, yeah, you know, I was fighting against different kind of things and not be able to play really my own game how I wanted to play.
But now I think you're 26 years old, you're at Ajax, the club that you began with. Are things starting to become full circle a little bit in your career where this is what you feel like where you're supposed to be at this point, or no?
Yes, I think so. The reason why I came back was also that had to do with obviously the team in Germany. Hoffenheim again was not a team on paper that a lot of people in the world knew about, and also they didn't have enough exposure. You know, so in my opinion, like, people kind of lost track, like, hey, where's Ryan? Where's he playing? You know? And even though it was Bundesliga, important, the games, in my opinion, didn't went out German. So even in Holland, they didn't know exactly what went on with me. They kind of took just the press from Germany over, and
kind of got lost in it.
Yeah, you know, so. They thought I was not doing well there, and they thought I was not playing enough, or they thought, you know, they were not really sure.
Now you're closer to home, obviously.
Yeah, but again, the choice to come back to Ajax was actually to prove people wrong in Holland, that the things that they published about me in my time in Germany were obviously totally wrong.
Do you think that you've matured more as a person? Because in the media, especially in England, you were sort of perceived as somebody who's always on Twitter, bit of a loose cannon, and I thought that was an unfair opinion of you. But do you think that you sort of settled down more and come into your own as a man?
To be honest, I'm actually still, you know, on social media now. Maybe I think I use it in a different way. I mean,
but do you think, like, you'll think of something and you'll be like, maybe I shouldn't post that right now? Or
I mean, I think
how it might be perceived. Down.
I think of course. I mean, it's all clear that in the past, you know, I made some mistakes with social media. Okay, you know, you're a human being for that. But I mean, I definitely now, you know, think out my stuff more.
Right, because you know, I've always liked that you've spoken your mind and you've been honest, but I guess at some point it's just best to, you know, let's not say this because it's just not worth the trouble. Okay.
No, I mean, you're right. I mean, sometimes it's just best, you know, to not share your honest thoughts about certain things, even though you're right, but it can sometimes only affect yourself. I
guess going back to Liverpool a bit, I wanted to ask you this question. I guess what was just your best memory there? Because a lot of people on Twitter want to know, what was your favorite time at Liverpool? Playing, you know, you're there with Carragher, you're there with Gerrard, you were there when Torres was there lighting up the world.
Yeah.
But do you have a specific moment there? I guess for me it was your strike against Lyon in the Champions League. That was a great moment. But do you have a favorite memory or favorite story to share?
I mean, of course, you know, the goal against Lyon was definitely one of one of the nice moments. But I think my appearance against Arsenal in the quarterfinal was for me the most special one.
In Champions League, yeah.
I mean, not everybody knows, but since I was young, I was still am as well.
Yeah.
A big Arsenal fan.
Okay.
And
now you grew up idolizing Thierry Henry, right?
Yeah. I mean, he was still is my number one idol in football, and I was also you know, fortunate to at the end meet him as a person and gain a certain friendship with him. So you know, I'm very happy with that.
Are you in contact with him at all? Because I see him, you know, every season he plays for New York Red Bulls. I've been to a ton of his games.
Okay.
Absolute magician. So now that you're with Ajax again, you're about to win the title, you're only there for 1 year. Have you talked to the club about maybe extending? What are your plans for really beyond, you know, this summer?
This is something still that's for me unsure, because I wanted to end right.
Would you like to stay with Ajax, or would you like to move on to maybe a larger European side?
I mean, depends. Again, that was also one of the main reasons I came back to Ajax, to put myself out there again. And unfortunately, because of I had a big part of the season, you know, some injuries. I wanted to have the rest of the games. I think 4 more games to end right. You know, hopefully with some nice goals and
you scored play. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So that's my goal now, and then we will analyze after the season what's best for my career. Again, you know, you have some promising talents now in Ajax who are young, will come up. So
also, one more question. This is just for me. Why do you wear the number 49 Ajax? Because as you know, 49 is a big. My Twitter handle is JLBsportsTV. 49 is like a very special number to me. So when I saw you adopt it, I was like, wow, look at this guy.
49 was my very first number when I came out in Ajax, and I remember in my first period in Ajax when I, you know, at the end got my chances. Everything worked out for me. You know, I played well, scored a lot of goals, was involved in big games, important games, and I wanted to actually have that same kind of feeling. You know, came back in Ajax.
Keep the luck.
Yeah, you know, wearing my first number when I was in Ajax.
So I guess Ajax has definitely been coming back. Has been an experience where you want to sort of rediscover what you had in years past, and
for sure,
and re-energize yourself.
Definitely. All right, so that's the story behind the 49.
Great.
Yeah, man.
Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.